Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 common mistakes new riders make and how to avoid them. So let's dive in. As a new rider, it is crucial to be aware of the common mistakes that can risk your safety and enjoyment on the road. So we're going to take a look at 5 common mistakes that new riders make and what you can do to avoid them. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification button so you don't miss any of my upcoming content. Now, let's dive in. Okay, mistake number 1 is poor throttle control. Now, this is a very common issue for beginner riders, which often leads to jerky starts, stalling, or even accidents. Throttle control is all about smoothness and precision of your bike. So in order to avoid poor throttle control, you really need to familiarize yourself with your bike in a safe environment where you can practice that friction zone and really gain confidence in your throttle control. Spend time in an empty parking lot or another safe environment where you can really get a feel for your bike's responsiveness. Trying exercises like slow speed maneuvers, figure eights will help develop a finesse and help you understand how your bike responds to your throttle input. Now, this is something that takes a lot of practice. Slow speed maneuvering is very difficult and it takes time. Don't rush and take your time to master your throttle. Not every bike is the same. So even if you're upgrading your bike, this is still something that you should be doing to familiarize yourself with a new bike or a different bike. Mistake number 2 is incorrect body positioning. This can affect your balance, control, and overall comfort on your bike. Now, this is something I also struggled with. I was very fearful at the beginning of my riding, so I realized that I was very tense in my upper body, which is apparently not what you're supposed to be doing. You want to maintain a relaxed position with a slight bend in your elbows and your knees. Your arms should be loose, not locked, and you want to grip your tank with your knees for better control and stability. When cornering and counter steering, you want to lean your body with the bike. Now, this is something that I am continuously working on. I am terrified to lean, so cornering is something that I'm really still practicing and getting out there and trying to increase my confidence on. So I still, as a beginner rider, struggle with maintaining the right posture and right body position when I'm riding. I'm gradually starting to increase my speed with cornering, and I realized that I started going back to that tense position that is actually inhibiting my riding. So that's something I'm really working on in trying to stay loosey-goosey on top, but also nice and tight and gripping that tank with my knees firmly. Now, working on that good body positioning improves your control and makes riding more enjoyable. It helps you react better to road conditions and navigate curves with confidence. So this is something I still work on every day with my boyfriend, Chris. We constantly find routes that have a lot of curves so I can work on my cornering and really get comfortable with that body positioning as I'm leaning into the curve and gradually increasing my speed and my confidence when I'm cornering. Mistake number 3, ignoring regular maintenance. Now, before every ride, you should be doing a pre-ride inspection, or also known as T-clocks. Now, I am very fortunate. Chris is amazing and does this for me. Before every ride, he checks my tire pressure, he checks my chain, make sure everything is working properly. And this is something I feel like a lot of riders don't do. Neglecting your bike's upkeep can lead to mechanical failures and safety hazards. Regular maintenance and pre-ride inspections ensure your bike is reliable and safe to ride. Make sure to perform regular checks on your motorcycle. Ensure that your tires are properly inflated, your chain is clean and lubricated, and topping off all your fluids. So make sure to keep your ride in top condition to ensure smooth and safe journeys. Not only is it a safety concern, preventative maintenance can save you from costly repairs or unexpected breakdowns. Mistake number 4, and this is one that I see a lot, and that is the lack of protective gear. Now, I'm sure this goes without saying, but lack of protective gear puts you at risk for injuries, especially if you are involved in an accident. Protective gear is your first line of defense if you are involved in an emergency situation or an accident. Make sure you are always wearing a DOT or ECE approved helmet, armor jacket, gloves, protective pants, and sturdy boots that cover your ankle. Invest in quality gear that fits well and provides adequate protection. Each piece of gear plays a vital role in keeping you safe, and make sure it fits properly. If your gear is too tight or too loose, it's not going to protect the areas that it's meant to protect during impact. Your pads and armor might slide and not protect you the way it should. Your safety is important, so make sure to gear up even in those hot summer months when the heat is unbearable. In an accident, the right gear can make a significant difference in the outcome. So make sure to gear up every time. Okay, our last mistake that beginner riders make, being overconfident and not riding your own ride. If you are riding with a more experienced rider, do not try to keep up. That can lead to a dangerous situation where you're riding outside your skill level, which can lead to an accident. Ride at your own pace and within your limits. Now, for those of you that have been following me for a while, I ride with my boyfriend who is an experienced rider. He has Ducati Multistrada V4, and I cannot keep up with him. There are many times that he is waiting at a stoplight or a stop sign or pulled over waiting for me to catch up because I know my limits and I know that I cannot keep up with him. So I just do my own thing. I go slow and eventually we'll meet up at the next checkpoint or at the next location. So it's okay to be slower and more cautious, especially when you are learning. Focus on building your skills gradually and don't let peer pressure push you into risky riding behavior. Remember, it's not about how fast you can ride, but how safely you can navigate your journey. Now, this is very common, especially when people ride in groups together. I had my experience of my first group ride a few months ago, and I was by far the slowest rider, and there were some points in that ride where I felt pressured to keep up, and I had to kind of step back and tell myself that I'm not there yet. I have not been riding as long as these riders, and I need to just go slow. They were really good about meeting up at certain checkpoints and waiting for me, which was great. And I also had Chris behind me who was giving me the confidence to continue on the ride as it was my first group ride. So find a supportive community of riders who are going to be encouraging but not push you beyond your limits. Ride your own ride and enjoy the process of becoming a more skilled rider. So there you have it, 5 common mistakes that beginner riders make and how to avoid them. By avoiding these mistakes, you'll be on your way to a more confident and enjoyable ride. If you found this video helpful, I would love your support to build this community. Give it a thumbs up and make sure to share it with someone who might find it helpful. And until next time, ride safe.